Do you know? Leklecha, go. This week, I look at Genesis 14:1, 15:21 and Isaiah 40:27, 41:16. These passages tell the reader that the Mighty One is the Creator of all things and that He rules over all nations. The Song of Moses and the Song of the Lamb in the book of Revelation 15:3, 4 point out that all nations will bow before the Mighty One in worship. As the Creator of all things and the ruler of the nations, these passages show that the Mighty One protects His people and brings to pass what He says. Just before we dive into the word of the Mighty One for this week, here are some announcements. Going forward, you will be able to listen to, see, and read these messages. The reading part is especially important for people with hearing deficiencies. Thanks to feedback from one particular viewer on YouTube, the improvements for message delivery were pushed out in last week's post and will now fulfill the aim of unifying all platforms and in keeping with the design of the Assembly of Yahweh Natzraya, which practices the well-worn pattern established from the time of the earliest interactions with the Mighty One and continued by the disciples of Messiah who all belong to one flock, John 10:16, built on one foundation, Ephesians 2:20, 22, by following the way, John 14:4-6, Acts 9:2, Acts 18:26, Acts 19:9, 23, Acts 22:4-5, Acts 24:2, Jeremiah 6:16, Isaiah 40:3. Here are some lessons that can be learned from Genesis 14:1, 15:21 and Isaiah 40:27, 41:16. Do you know the Mighty One is sovereign over all nations? In Genesis 14, the record of events shows the Mighty One helped Abram, through whom the nation of Israel would come to be, rescue Lot, his nephew, from a coalition of 4 Mesopotamian kings, who had just defeated 5 Canaanite kings. That Abram was able to do this shows that the Mighty One is in control of all nations and gives victory to His people. Genesis 14:10-16. 14:10 And the valley of Siddim was full of slime pits, and the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah fled and fell there, and those that remained fled to the mountain. 14:11 And they took all the goods of Sodom and Gomorrah and all their foodstuffs and went their way. 14:12 And they took Lot, Abram's brother's son, who dwelt in Sodom, and his goods, and departed. 14:13 And there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre the Amorite, brother of Eshcol, and brother of Aner, and these were allied with Abram. 14:14 And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them to Dan. 14:15 And he divided himself against them, he and his servants by night smote them and pursued them to Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus. 14:16 And he brought back all the goods, and he also brought back his brother, as well as the women and the people. Do you know the Mighty One controls the future, blesses those who obey Him, and keeps His word to them? Throughout the Bible, we see the Mighty One talking about what will happen in many, many, many years to come. In Genesis 15, the Mighty One reassures Abram and blesses him with the promise of many descendants. This ability to talk about the future shows that the Mighty One controls what happens tomorrow. Genesis 15:1-6. 15:1 After these things, the word of Yahweh came to Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am your shield and your exceeding great reward. 15:2 And Abram said, Yahweh, my Mighty One, what will you give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Eliezer of Damascus? 15:3 And Abram said, Behold, to me, you have given no seed, and, lo, one born in my house is my heir. 15:4 And, behold, the word of Yahweh came to him, saying, This shall not be your heir, but he that shall come from out of your own bowels shall be your heir. 15:5 And he brought him forth abroad and said, Look now towards heaven, and count the stars, if you are able to number them, and he said to him, so shall your seed be. 15:6 And he believed in Yahweh, and he counted it to him for righteousness. Do you know the Mighty One did not stop at telling Abram that he would give him many descendants? In the Mighty One's telling Abram about what would happen tomorrow, Abram learns what will happen to his descendants and that they will become a great nation and be given the land of Canaan for their own by the Mighty One. This shows that the Mighty One blesses those who obey him and trust in his promises. Genesis 15:7-16. 15:7 And he said to him, I am Yahweh, who brought you out of Ur of the Chaldees, to give you this land to inherit it. 15:8 And he said, Yahweh, how shall I know that I shall inherit it? 15:9 And he said to him, bring me a heifer of 3 years old, a she-goat of 3 years old, a ram of 3 years old, a turtle dove, and a young pigeon. 15:10 And he took to him all these, divided them in the middle, and laid each piece one against another, but he did not divide the birds. 15:11 And when the birds of prey came down upon the carcasses, Abram drove them away. 15:12 And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell on Abram, and, see, a horror of great darkness fell on him. 15:13 And he said to Abram, know of a surety that your seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them for 400 years. 15:14 And also that nation, whom they shall serve, will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance. 15:15 And you shall go to your fathers in peace, you shall be buried in good old age. 15:16 But in the fourth generation, they shall come here again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. I talked about this earlier, and I will repeat it again. Do you know that the Mighty One is the creator and sustainer of the universe and that he is without an equal? Isaiah 40 tells us that the Mighty One is the creator and sustainer of the universe and that he is without an equal. He is the one who created everything and holds everything together. Anyone who trusts him will be refreshed. This shows that the Mighty One is all-powerful and that he is in control of everything. Isaiah 40:13-31. 40:13 Who has directed the Spirit of Yahweh, or being his counselor has taught him. 40:14 With whom took he counsel, and who instructed him, taught him in the path of judgment, taught him knowledge, and showed him the way of understanding. 40:15 See, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. See, he takes up the islands as a very little thing. 40:16 And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn, nor are the beasts thereof sufficient for a burnt offering. 40:17 All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him as less than nothing and vanity. 40:18 To whom will you then liken the Mighty One? Or what likeness will you compare to him? 40:19 The workmen melt a graven image, and the goldsmith spreads it over with gold and makes silver chains. 40:20 He who is so poor that he has no offering chooses a tree that will not rot, he seeks a cunning workman to prepare a graven image that shall not be moved. 40:21 Have you not known? Have you not heard? Has it not been told to you from the beginning? Have you not understood from the foundations of the earth? 40:22 It is he that sits upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants are as grasshoppers, that stretches out the heavens as a curtain and spreads them out as a tent to dwell in. 40:23 That brings the princes to nothing, he makes the judges of the earth as vanity. 40:24 Yes, they shall not be planted, yes, they shall not be sown, yes, their stock shall not take root in the earth, and he shall also blow upon them, and they shall wither, and the whirlwind shall take them away as stubble. 40:25 To whom then will you liken me, or shall I be equal? Says the consecrated one. 40:26 Lift up your eyes on high, and see who hath created these things, that brings out their host by number, he calls them all by names, by the greatness of his might, for that he is strong in power, not one fails. 40:27 Why do you say, O Jacob, and speak, O Israel? My way is hidden from Yahweh, and my judgment is passed over from my mighty one. 40:28 Have you not known, have you not heard, that the age past time, Yahweh, the creator of the ends of the earth, faints not, neither is weary? There is no searching of his understanding. 40:29 He gives power to the faint, and to those who have no might, he increases strength. 40:30 Though youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. 40:31 But they that wait on Yahweh shall renew their strength, they shall mount up with wings as eagles, they shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Do you know the Mighty One is all-powerful and all-knowing? In Isaiah 41, the Mighty One is described as the one who knows everything and who can do anything. In my studies, I have never come across any account of entities that can tell what has happened before and what will happen tomorrow. This ability is only available to the Mighty One of the Hebrew Scriptures. It is only in this record that events of yesterday are revealed and events of tomorrow are foretold. This shows that the Mighty One is not limited in any way and that he is in complete control of everything. Revelation 1:1-3 1:1 The revelation of Yahushua the Messiah, which Yahweh gave to him, to show to his servants things that must shortly come to pass, and he sent and signified it by his messenger to his servant John. 1:2 Who bore record of the word of Yahweh, of the testimony of Yahushua the Messiah, and of all things that he saw. 1:3 Blessed is he that reads, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things that are written therein, for the time is at hand. Isaiah 41:1-14 41:1 Conceal them, O coastlands of the west, and let the people renew their strength, let them come near, then let them speak, let us come near together, judge you. 41:2 Who raised up the righteous man from the east, called him to his foot, gave the nations before him, and made him rule over kings. He gave them as the dust to his sword and as driven stubble to his bow. 41:3 He pursued them and passed safely, even by the way that he had not gone with his feet. 41:4 Who has fashioned it and done it, calling the generations from the beginning? I Yahweh, the first, and with the last, I am he. 41:5 The coastlands saw it and feared, the ends of the earth were afraid, drew near, and came. 41:6 They helped everyone, and everyone said to his brother, Be of good courage. 41:7 So the carpenter encouraged the goldsmith, and he that struck with the hammer struck the anvil, saying, It is ready for the cover, and he fastened it with nails, saying that it should not be moved. 41:8 But you, Israel, are my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend. 41:9 You whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called you from the chief men thereof, and said to you, You are my servant, I have chosen you and not cast you away. 41:10 Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your mighty one. I will strengthen you, yes, I will help you, yes, I will uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. 41:11 See, all they that were incensed against you shall be ashamed and confounded, they shall be as nothing, and they that strive with you shall perish. 41:12 You shalt seek them, and shalt not find them, even those that contended with you, they that war against you shall be as nothing and as a thing of naught. 41:13 For I, Yahweh, your mighty one, will hold your right hand, saying to you, Fear not, I will help you. 41:14 Fear not, you worm Jacob, and you men of Israel, I will help you, says Yahweh, and your Redeemer, the consecrated one of Israel. These are just a few of the many lessons that can be learned from Genesis 14:1, 15:21 and Isaiah 40:27, 41:16. You should read, listen to, view these passages, and share them as much as you want. In doing so, you will be encouraged today and serve to encourage other people too. Now you know.